apple pie, baseball, McDonald's. These are some of America's biggest highlights, the latter of which turns an amazing 75 years old tomorrow. Well, technically. The restaurant started off as a barbecue joint on May 15, 1940. It wasn't until April 15, 1955 that the McDonald Corporation was established. So is it the 75th anniversary or the 60th? And is the food that bad for you? Those things aren't important. What is important is the fast food chain's mix in video games. So let's travel down that rabbit hole in this tasty retrospective. Let's start things off with Donald Land. No, that's the right title. In Japan, Ronald McDonald is known as Donald, which is why this 1988 Famicom game has that name. It's a simple enough platformer where Ronald, or Donald, is on a quest to rescue his friends from the vile creatures that took over his magical McDonald land. It's a simple enough basis for a video game with decent mechanics, but altogether not terribly interesting. Let's look next at the MC Kids. This launched on the NES in 1992, the first McDonald game to release in America. The Hamburglar stole Ronald's magic bag and he taxed two children with taking it back. This ho-hum platformer has awful music, bland graphics, and out-of-proportion gravity. It's like the developers wanted to give the kids flying powers like in Super Mario Bros. 3, but without an item. Seriously, look at them! How is this even possible? There was also a Game Boy port called McDonald Land, as you see here, which is similar in execution but more limited. What's more interesting is the fact that outside of Europe, the game was licensed as a Cool Spot game for 7-Up. Cool Spot, of course, was in a recent episodes of Bizarre Bits, so be sure to check that out if I'm able to plug something else that I did. Up next is Mick and Mac Global Gladiators. It's never quite stated as fact, but one could surmise that Mick and Mac are the MC Kids grown up. Whatever the case may be, these tykes must collect the missing golden arches for Ronald. The game is definitely trying to cater to an older crowd, what with the gross aesthetics of Slime World, and giving the boys water guns that shoot ooze. It was released for the Sega Genesis in 1992, with planned ports for the Game Boy and Super Nintendo. Unsurprisingly, as the game isn't great, they were never released. McDonald's Treasure LAN Adventure. Now, this one is quite good. It took Ronald 6 years after his adventures in Donald Land to start his own video game. It was released in 1994 for the Sega Genesis and was developed by, funnily enough, Treasure. Ronald stumbles across a ripped treasure map and journeys to find the other pieces, all while fighting his way through enemies and big bosses. His power is magic dust, which one could also imagine as another callback to MC Kids. Are these games connected? Is there a McDonald Land timeline that I'm not seeing? Or is this just a weird coincidence and the developers throughout all these games were running out of ideas? Whether or not that's true, hey, again, this is actually a good game. Well, maybe not great, that's kind of an overstatement. But the graphics, music, and mechanics are definitely sound, all thanks to Treasure, which, before this, developed Gunstar Heroes, which is an awesome game. Simultaneously, Japan received Magical World, which is more or less a port of this game for the Sega Game Gear. It's both sad that it wasn't as great as the console version, as well as being noted as the last McDonald's game to come out. Perhaps now that the anniversary is upon us, it's the perfect time for McDonald to go back into his wheelhouse and create some more bizarre video games. It's time for a resurrection for a new generation. Also, maybe it's just time to go to McDonald's and pick up a couple cheeseburgers. Why not? I mean, they gotta have some kind of promotion for their anniversary, right? Right? Just show them my article on your phone and they'll surely give you something. That's not an official endorsement, but you know, hey, try it out. Until next time, see you later, Big Macs.
Boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, subscribe, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack.